Elijah and Nick, it is December 3rd. It is Tuesday. Welcome to another episode of You Cannot Make This Shit Up, man. This is 56 Stockton. This bathroom is horrible, bro. Not even funny. I don't even know where to start. I put some blue tape here. I'm just going to get right into it. I'm going to tell you, dude, there are mistakes beyond mistakes beyond mistakes. Starting with the tub. The tub was installed. It was put beyond this sheetrock. This tub and this lip should be against the joist behind here. This tub should have been recessed more. Number one. Number two, when they install the Durock, this Durock sits on top of this lip, not in front of it. As you just see, mistake number three. This shit is not even secured. This Durock. It didn't even hit a joist. Mistake number four. When you have the seam of a piece of sheetrock here, there should be some type of a blocker here for stability, so you can nail to. And just in the quality of doing better jobs, at the end of the tub where you have the rim, if you were ever going to put a shower joist in, before you put the Durock in, you should have a 2x4 or double 2x4 there in case you want to ever put a shower door there. So at least you can grab into wood. You might need it, might not, but for $3 on each side, smart thing to do. What is the problem when the tub sticks out like this and it's not against the joist and you put the Durock in front of the flange, not on top of it? You can see this wall goes straight down and then it curves out. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know of any tiles that are bendable and flexible that you put in the shower walls. So what's going to happen is you're going to see, after you tile this wall, you're going to have the tiles come down and the last one's going to be on an angle. It's going to look very stupid. I lost count on mistakes, so I'm just going to keep rolling. Mistake is, this is drywall. It's just regular drywall. First of all, the drywall used in a bathroom should be the mold resistant or the mildew resistant. Home Depot's green, Lowe's it's like purple or something like that. So they used the wrong stuff. If they put Durock here and they put Durock here, this is 5 feet. Pieces come 5 feet. You put a 3-foot section here, pop another one up there. A Durock wall, because when you have the water, that's going to shoot out. As you're taking the shower and hits your body, the water goes to the sides and to the shower curtain or shower door. That wall needs to be protected. Just for better design and aesthetics, it would have been nice if you put like an alcove in here for soap bottles, so you don't have to put like those stupid corner shelves or hang things from the shower head. Let's talk about the shower head. Why is there blue tape there? Do you see a problem with this, which is now behind the sheetrock wall? I do. You're supposed to put a drop of your elbow on there so it has a screw on one side, screw on the other, and screw on the top. That makes that very rigid. The tub spout. Watch the tub spout in the diverter. Do you see a problem here? This copper, there's probably, the shower diverter is probably a piece of copper here with just an elbow, a regular elbow. Functionally, it will still work. Structurally, it's not right. Let's go to this piece of sheetrock now. This sheetrock is already sitting behind the tub. So either this tub was probably put in after this sheetrock, which is the wrong way to do it. The tub goes in first. But either which way, the sheetrock goes behind it, not on top. Why is that going to be a problem? Because when you put your tile on here, you're now going to have to bump it out. Again, it's going to be angled so it can go down. It rests like about an 1/8 inch off the lip. Speaking of the tub, we don't have a screw over there. We have one here, which is not even fastened. And when you have a gap like that, you should have a shim in there because this is acrylic. You don't want to screw so tight where this moves because this can crack. And if it cracks down here, then you have another problem, which you're buying a new tub. When you also put these the screws in, you can actually use finish washers, so it helps make it a little bit more tight and tensioned. The back sheetrock, for the same purposes on that side. You can't put a tile here, so now your tile, you're going to have to build it way out, and I'm going to guesstimate that that's about a 1/2 inch. When they put this piece of sheetrock in here, they should have furred out the wall first to make it a 1/2 inch shorter. because whoever framed out this wall didn't frame it out to 60, and really you should make like 60 and a quarter so you have some wiggle room for the tub. But they framed it out to about 61, so it wasn't framed out right. But you could just put a piece of Durock on top of it and now sit it on top of that ledge. You should probably do the same over here. Oh, I forgot the wall. Hold on. So now this is a new framed wall. Number one, I'm being told that it's ready for a tile. I have 1 screw, 2 screws, 3 screws. You probably have another one here. I have 1 screw, 2 screw. I don't have any down here. There's a joist right here. I got no screws, no screw, no screw, and no screw. What's going to happen is this wall's going to move, this wall's going to move, and you're always going to have a broken grout in your tiles on the corner, and that's where water can start to penetrate. I'm going to try to move this just with like 4 fingers. Let's see. Maybe 5, just so I don't get hurt. Watch how much this tub or this wall flexes. All right, so this wall right here, and I really want you to get how much this is moving. Maybe I'll put the phone down. This one's important. I don't want to not get this. This is difficult. I don't know if you saw those screws. Here's the bottom line. That is a new framed wall, and it's completely moving. On the edges over here, we have 1 screw. They got a screw here. I see 1, 2. Okay, we could have maybe got 1 more up here. But there's still not enough screws. You have 1 here, 1 here. Bottom line, it's not screwed enough. Let's look over here. When you have a seam, there needs to be a joist or something in between so you can sheetrock. If I'm getting into the tub, so I turn the water on, if I put my hand on this wall to brace myself as I get into the tub and I step in, what do you think is going to happen to any plaster or sheetrock? This whole thing. There's nothing supporting it. I could push this all in. Okay? Aesthetically, they have a soffit above here. I kind of get that for, you want to run tiles up to the soffit and you want to save some money and not go up the extra foot. But it's aesthetically, it's really stupid. Cost-wise, I kind of understand it. But you don't run the soffit. At least run it past the window. But more importantly, you didn't even have to run it to the window. You soffit just the bathroom area. There is nothing above the soffit, so it's actually not functional for anything. Sometimes there's plumbing up there. There is nothing here, which I will show you in a second. Okay. So while I'm up here, they have the 2x4 framing for the soffit. I guess they counted how many pieces they need. They were too cheap to buy another one. They sistered a piece on here, which they just have a screw here and here. The other piece of plywood or 2x4 stops right here. So instead of having a long, continuous piece like that one, they just sistered it. And there's no rhyme or reason why they did it. We're not secured there. On the joist right here, where you need to have your screws, they have 1 here, nothing there. So watch, nice and tight. What happens over here? That's gonna crack with your spackle. I really want you to see this too, so I'm gonna hope. Let me see if I can position my phone here. Okay. So this is framed out soffit. Do you see a problem? It's not even connected. This beam over here. You know what? This is your framing. I know I'm really fucking strong, but I could take your whole entire framing apart. This is ridiculous. So that's saying that screw, which they put in there, which a professional, by the way, would use a nail, but I think these will be metal studs. But that means that they didn't even hit their stud. What else I got for you here? Oh, the corner bead. It sucks when you use screws like this. You really shouldn't use nails because they're flatter. But look, there's no nails anywhere on the top corner bead. You have one screw here, one here, and one there. That one doesn't count because it's not doing anything. So you have 3 screws holding up the corner bead. What's going to happen there is when you put your spackle on there, it is going to crack. Additionally, when you install your corner bead, this little bump, the lip, it actually sticks out past the sheetrock, so you'll have like an angle, so you can fill your spackle in there. You're gonna have an issue here because this is sticking out further than this, so whoever spackles this is gonna be like a little lump. Same situation over here. Instead of cutting the metal here and pushing this closer, or shifting this out a little bit, they're gonna try to feather and blend this in, and it's not gonna be a nice square corner. This is gonna crack if you try spackling it because it's moving. The same thing when you put these screws in. The reason why I don't like them, because you can go too much, then it pops out the corner bead here. That's gonna crack. The corner bead in the sheetrock. The sheetrock was put in too far that way. It should have been back more, because you see how the corner bead sits on the sheetrock, so therefore it's nice and tight like it is here. You're not gonna get that issue here. All this is gonna crack. All this is gonna crack. Aside from the extra stuff on the walls, which it would have been a lot easier just to rip all this stuff down and re-sheetrock it. Oh, insulation, I forgot a blue tape here. So they framed it below this window, which it's actually not framed out right either. So there is a king stud here, goes all the way up. This stud right here, right? It should have actually gone to the end so you have more frame support under the window and attach it to that king stud. Is your house gonna fall down? No. But the insulation, this insulation is built for walls that are 16 inches on center, which means the center of the stud, or the middle of it, is gonna be 14.5 inches. This insulation is fine that way for 14.5 inches. But when you compress insulation, you start losing your R value, and the benefit of your insulation goes down dramatically. I don't have the measurement on me right now, but if they just put one beam right down the middle, this would have been exactly the perfect size for each piece of insulation. But they decided to add 2, and then they just jam all the insulation in there. I mean, they don't know what they're doing on framing. See if you can see this move. Either which way, that's moving because it's not secured and it's not framed properly, and that's why you wanted all this stuff open before. Frame it outright. I know they're not finished, but when you put the window in, you definitely should be going outside and securing the house immediately, because you need to protect it from the elements like rain and snow, like we just had yesterday. So they got the little shim here, but this should be filled, and you should fill this from both sides with the window spray foam insulation. Specifically the spray foam for the windows, because any of the other spray foam, it's actually going to expand and it's going to press up, and there's going to be a lot of pressure, and you won't be able to open your window. The windows one is specifically designed for that, so that there's no pressure. But the outside of the house, it's just plywood. They don't even have tar paper or anything on it. So every time it's going to rain and hit the house, the water is actually going behind your siding. What else we got? Oh, shit, the floor. That's another fun one. Number one, when you do for Durock, they have this on plywood. I don't remember if this is the original plywood or not, because I was here a few weeks ago. It looks like it's kind of new, so I'm going to assume it's new. When they put down this plywood and the Durock, what they should do is just not only nail the plywood or screw the plywood down, but it's also to put some liquid nails in there, even especially between the plywood and the Durock. So they could have just put some liquid nails and go past the seam and kind of zigzag it like this. The reason why we want these seams really to be glued tight, so that these two floors don't start to move, because once they start to move, then your tiles start to crack. But there's not enough There's not enough screws in here anyway. You'll see we have a screw in the corner, kind of acceptable, a little closer would have been nicer. But this is 3 feet by 5 feet. I mean, minimally, try to get at least 3 screws on here. Then you go like every 16 inches, so there'd be, 4 screws in here. But, there's nothing here, so what's happening, this prop spot is going to be kind of tight, and this spot is going to be loose. Your tiles will crack. But you can, I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if you can see this moving up and down, but that's moving up and down. This is moving up and down. So I don't know how secure all this Durock is. And also there's another way to install this, which is just not putting it down with screws, Durock screws. You can actually put this down and set it in mortar. You can use your trowel, just like if you're doing like floor tiles. And you can actually level this up because Elijah, you told me that they were going to not liquid level. They said they're going to level this floor. I'm going to assume it's liquid level. If they do that, this whole area here needs to be sealed and put like a bucket of here so that the liquid level doesn't go down. But you also got to seal all the perimeter and the edges. But the problem you're going to have with the liquid leveler here is that shit's like $25 a bag. I mean, you're going to go through, 10 bags over here because this really starts to dip down. Speaking of dipping down, where I have this blue tape, this is where the toilet is. That's where you're going to sit on it. You're always going to have your full body weight. You can step right here, and you can feel right here where there's a stud. You can feel it's nice and strong. Over here, I can push it down, and I'll see if I can get you a video of that as well. Let's see. So let's see. Here it is. I don't know if you can see that moving. But if you saw that moving, it's telling you that just because you have the liquid leveler down, every time you sit on the toilet's going to rock a little bit because your weight and your pressure is going to be right around where those letters are between the sticker. So you're most likely going to crack tiles, but it wasn't prepped right. So, let me put this over here so nobody steps on those nails, which would probably be my dumb ass. All right, aside from that, I think that's everything. And I hate to tell you, this has been like 20 minutes, and we're in a bathroom. The bottom line is, rip it out and do it over. Fix the floor. Do it right. God forbid, please fix the framing so I can't push it with my hand. Get rid of the soffit. It's not even connected anyway. I ripped it down. All right, that's it. I don't even want to show you the rest of the house. I don't have the energy.